Good afternoon, friends, and welcome. Thanks for joining now as this streams, or later on if you have the time then. I'm, as many of you are, I imagine, relieved after last week, whatever your political beliefs may be, at least that we've sort of reached a level of certainty, even though nothing is by any means complete or certain. At least the stress and the ordeal of the election, the media that went along with that, and how it sort of permeated our lives, that we can finally get a relief from some of that pressure and just sort of take a breath. The other observation I had about myself this morning was that it's very easy to use exterior distractions to avoid being with ourselves, hearing what we have to say. There can be very good reason for that. Some of what we have to say might seem very negative, might be very hard to hear. And another question, of course, is whether or not those things we have to say to ourselves are true or not. I found myself, like frantically putting on the radio or listening to an audiobook or something in order to not be with silence earlier today. And in a meditation, in a moment of awareness, I realized that's what I was doing, and that I needed to challenge myself. That's my challenge to you. If you choose to accept it, maybe you're in a totally different place and this doesn't apply to you, but if you find yourself afraid of your thoughts, afraid of your emotions or your feelings, seeking exterior distraction or relief or gratification to avoid being with yourself and observing those things, I encourage you to play with putting the phone down, turning the radio or whatever your device is off, and sitting with yourself, sitting with silence, sitting with your thoughts and your feelings. Whether or not we can control them or bend them to our will is a question I don't have an answer to. I'm discovering it with you. And I believe that the first step is understanding. To understand, we have to be brave and face those things, face those fears, face those feelings, face those perhaps critical thoughts. Without necessarily getting absorbed by them, just observing them, seeing what they have to say, and being curious as to why they may want to say it. I think for me personally, a lot of anguish comes in through ignoring them or avoiding them, allowing them to build up in intensity and volume. That if I tell myself it's not safe for me to explore that part of myself, then the big takeaway is that it's not safe. And those thoughts and feelings are there for a reason, and they're there to try and protect us. And in order to sort of see through them, or to see behind them, to see the force that drives them, we need to explore them. When we try to hide from them, we're only giving them more strength. So, with all of that said, and that suggestion for your future or near future self, let's come to sit comfortably in a position of your choice. It could be one of the classic meditation poses or just sitting in a comfy chair. I encourage somewhere that you can sit up straight if that's comfortable for you. Bringing your awareness now to the places where you're being held by the ground, where you're being held by gravity. It could be the bottoms of your feet if you're sitting in a chair, or the sitting bones, your hands in your lap or on the table or the chair, your shins, your thighs, your knees, your calves, anywhere. Just for a moment, feeling and being with that pressure. Accepting and knowing that we're sitting right now. Allowing those parts of us that are touching the earth, touching furniture, to be a strong and stable and safe foundation. Accepting that downward energy, that attraction to the earth. And allowing for our spine and our body to rise out of that. To be a force in an opposing direction, but to not be in oppositional force. The foundation supports the climbing out of the earth. Play now with the hips, see what one can do to find stability there. If you can change the stuffing around in your cushion or change the tilt of your pelvis to find a moderation in terms of the extremes of the range of motion of your pelvis and a sense of tallness and stability. A sense, perhaps, if you're sitting in an asymmetrical way, of being able to release as much muscular engagement in the sitting as possible. What can one do to sit more comfortably, to use less effort in that part of the body? Now, allowing the awareness to rise up the spine, to the shoulders and the neck. The area for me in the last week, with the little bit of work that I had and with everything else that was going on, so much tension built up. I'm still working to relieve the muscular effects of that. Without compromising the lower back, allow the shoulders to roll up, back, and down. Allow the shoulder blades to lower down the spine. Allow the top of the chest, the collarbones, to smile upward and forward. Again, checking that we haven't crunched our lower spine. Just double checking, triple checking. Bringing the awareness now to the neck. Playing with balance and stability here too. Finding a sense of strength and tallness as well. Perhaps playing with a slight forward tilt of the skull to allow for space and ease in the back of the back of the skull and the very top of the spine. Bringing ease and relaxation to the jaw now. Finding a sense of muscular relaxation here too. What can I do right now to maintain my chosen posture without as much muscular engagement? Relax the muscles of the face, the forehead, the eyes. There are muscles all around the head. Just releasing them. Allowing the eyes to close if you have not done so already. Or to find a soft gaze that does not concentrate on the world around us. Coming now to our breath, willing ourselves to take 3 of the deepest, fullest inhales and strongest exhales. On the inhale, feeling the torso and the ribs, the stomach, even the back and the neck lengthen and expand out from our core in every direction. Feel ourselves getting taller. And on the exhale, allowing for ourselves to come back in close to the spine. At the end of your 3rd breath, allow your control of the breath, your sense of effort in the breath to release. Come to a place of viewing the breath rather than instigating it. In the realm of the breath, exploring for a moment the felt sensation of breathing in this moment. What does it feel like to breathe out in this moment? As this ebb and flow of the breath, this expansion and contraction in the body, continues in this moment and throughout our lives. But in this moment, is there some aspect of the breath, some arbitrary sense in this moment that is calling to you or speaking to you? One where the sensation of breath is stronger for you in this moment. And if so, just allowing your attention to focus on that for now. And if not, just picking a spot. Could be in the chest, in the stomach. Could be the skin of the torso that feels the clothes move around as we inhale and exhale, as the shape of our body cavity changes. Could be in the back of the throat, the sinuses, the nostrils. top lip, somewhere that either the breath is felt or that the breathing is felt. Now that we've got this spot, this point of sensation, just allowing our focus to engage with that finite, specific, and arbitrary point of focus, point of awareness, and explore that in this moment. And as our focus engages with this area, this chosen point of observation, you may be experiencing distractions of a sort. Thoughts may be arising in the mind about anything, about this practice, about your feelings or your thoughts about this practice, about other things you feel you need to do, things you've been reminded of, greater, bigger, more important thoughts perhaps. Or feelings in the body, coming up around sitting, or breathing, or being. And when we become aware that our attention has departed from our point of focus on the breath, can we see this distraction, in whatever form it takes, as really being fundamentally the same as our sensory awareness of the breath? It's a thought, it's felt, its occurrence is perceived in the mind, it's something in the body, it's felt by the body. Rather than needing to identify with it or grip it, hold on to it tightly, embrace it, can we just observe it? Neutrally, if that's a word. Allowing it to be here because it is here, without pushing it away and rejecting it, without identifying with it, without holding it. Just observing. With any and all of your awareness and your faculties, your methods of sensation. And coming back to the breath. So that the point of focus of the breath and anything else that may be coming up for you can all be held as it were on an outstretched open hand, free to come and go, and when it's there, to be observed. Now that we've been sitting with our awareness of the breath, allowing our restricted focus to ease, allowing our awareness to open, to include all of the body and all of the breath. We continue to reside in the station or the position of observer, watching the breath come and go, sensations in the body come and go, perhaps sounds around us, sounds of breathing or the sounds of the world at large, in our apartments, in our heads, in our buildings, our neighborhoods, as they come and go. And thoughts, as they come and go too. Can we, with compassion, without judgment, observe all of these occurrences? Like discrete yet connected beings in an ecosystem or parts of a machine. Just observing the interplay in this moment. We will soon begin silent, self-directed part of our practice, in which my directions will ease. We will sit in silence for about 5 minutes. And during that time, perhaps you can be aware that you have the choice to identify with and to embody these occurrences as they happen within your field of awareness, as they happen on the screen. Now and in our lives at large. We make the choice to, in this moment, as an experiment, to allow these sensations to be without needing to identify with them, without needing to hold them close, without needing to say, that's me. Just sitting in silence, observing whatever comes up in this moment. Allowing the sound of the bell to draw your awareness back to the surface, back to the world of interacting with the space around us, people around us. Scanning the body for any places where it might feel sore or agitated as a result of this sitting. Doing nice for your body, doing something nice for your body, something nice for that part. Maybe a gentle forward fold or a stretch or just a change of posture. Gently open the eyes. I encourage you for the rest of the day to be gentle and inquisitive with yourself and your feelings. Those feelings that good and joyful, and those that may not be as such. May be confusing for you. Accepting them as being present, not shunning them, not running from them. Letting them be with you for a moment and dissipate as they will. May you, everyone you know and treasure, be able to experience joy and happiness. May you feel safe and at ease. May you be healthy and strong. Namaste. Until this evening or next week, take care.